Now I am 77 and retired. When I retired at 65, I remember thinking that I was still a reasonably fit man and mentally sharp. I had regular medicals through work, and at my last company medical I clearly remember the doctor saying to me during the review, "The average life expectancy for a man in your position is around 82. I think you will reach that, and possibly more." At the time, 82 felt a long way off, so I was quite content with that and quietly confident that I might even beat it. Roll forward about 5 years, when I was around 69. In my mind, nothing had really changed physically, but there were little moments, small indicators, that I wasn't entirely comfortable with. I remember a flight from London to Edinburgh. We had to get a bus from the aircraft to the terminal building. When I reached the bus, it was already quite full, standing room only. No problem, I thought, and stepped on board. After a moment, I felt a tap on my shoulder. A lady, I would guess in her 30s, spoke softly and said, "Please, have my seat." My first thought was, cheeky thing, why does she think I need her seat? I remember replying quite abruptly, "No thank you." But afterwards, the real question stayed in my mind, why did she offer me her seat? Not long after that, I stepped onto an escalator in a building in Manchester. As I stepped on, I suddenly felt a bit unbalanced. A lady behind me quickly caught my arm and held it until I got hold of the handrail. I thanked her, but again I remember thinking, what just happened there? Once again, that little thought came back, am I getting old? Occasionally, I would go out in the afternoon with a few friends and we would visit a few local ale houses. As we walked between places, I started to notice I was struggling to keep up with them. I had always been a fast walker and never had any problem with distance. Then suddenly, I was the one slowing down. That did annoy me, I can tell you. I clearly remember one of the group saying to the others, "Let's slow the pace a bit." And they weren't saying it for themselves, they were saying it for me. That was when I really started to see the light. Of course, my wife had already seen it, my gradual decline, long before I was prepared to admit it. A couple of years later, I started having balance issues, and then a few other health problems began to appear. Nothing dramatic all at once, just little things, one by one, that slowly change your life. And now, today, I am 77 years old. I often think back to what that doctor said all those years ago. No reason you shouldn't make 82. What did he know? More importantly, was he right? As I sit here writing this today, I'm not so sure. But then again, que sawa sara, whatever will be, will be. But here is what I have learned. Getting older does not arrive all at once. It arrives in small moments. A seat offered on a bus. A hand on an escalator. Friends slowing their walking pace. The strange thing is, inside your head you are still the same person you were 30 years ago. The only difference is the mirror and other people. So if you are watching this and you are somewhere in your 60s or 70s and you are starting to notice these little moments, don't be too hard on yourself. We are not old. We are just further down the road.